Aloha, and thank you for coming back to Versa Thai Yoga. Today I'll be demonstrating a technique that I like to call the guardian pose or the giant pose. And it's basically a type of squat. And there's a specific way that we want to do this, and so we were going to use some kind of props or different tools to help explain what the proper technique for this is. So the first and the easiest thing would be a wall. For the pose itself, we have to make the feet apart, like comfortably, a little bit wider than the shoulders. And if we're using the wall, we'll put our back up against the wall and try to bring the feet in a little bit, but not touching, because we still need room to squat down. But we want our back to stay against the wall. So the idea here is we're squatting down and keeping the spine upright during the entire process. So pressing the hands against each other, we're going to be engaging the shoulders, the arms, and the chest like this, a little bit of the back engagement. And that's going to help set up the chain to keep the whole body engaged throughout this process. So engaging the core, the lower abdominal wall, the perineum, the legs, the glutes. We want to keep everything engaged as we're moving. So this is a whole body involvement with this technique. So take a deep breath, hold and engage the body, and squat down. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then exhale, return. Again, switch hands. So inhale, come down, hold, and exhale, return. So that's what it looks like against the wall, but we want it to look the same as that if we're off of the wall. So something like this. Inhale, hold, engage, and squat. And exhale. So the difference between doing it this way and doing it without thinking of it, which most people will kind of come forward like this. They'll come like this. But we want it to be more like this. The difference is, if you're doing this instead of this, it feels like you're leaning back. Even though your spine is upright, it's just you would be more used to leaning forward when you squat. So having upright, it feels like you're leaning back. Some other tools to help are this scarf and the stick. Have a broomstick or just a piece of bamboo, and either one works. The bamboo is nice because it doesn't slide around as much, but the broomstick is nice just because it's more straight. And so take this scarf. You can use a rope or a belt, a yoga strap, anything that goes around your waist. We'll go up a little higher than the waist, around just below the diaphragm. So if we make it tight, if we take a deep breath, it will loosen, it'll increase in diameter, but it will make it tighter because the body is expanding and it's going to stay tight. So we're going to do it like that. And so the idea is that you have it at a height that it will touch the ground when you're squatting. And if you do it correctly, it will come down and it will touch the ground, and then when you exhale, you come back up. So it should stay with, but it loosened up. Another tool you could use is a spot on the ground. So we can choose one of these spots on the carpet. And you can even tighten this more. I just didn't want to make it too tight. Let's see. Inhale and hold and choose a spot. And then when you come back up, it should be in that spot. So, like I said, this one slides around more. And you can use the bamboo if you want it to come back up with you as you're squatting. And if you're doing it this way, actually, anytime when you first start this, it's good to have someone with you to tell you whether or not you're leaning forward. Someone with you or having a mirror will also be helpful for this. We're just aiming to have, like I have this camera with the screen, so I can see if I engage and squat down, I'm mostly upright and then I come back up. But it feels like you're upright even when you don't look upright when you're first starting. So it's helpful to have someone there telling you, or like if you're aiming the stick tied to your back to a specific spot, telling you, okay, it needs to go forward or back, or your posture needs to be forward or back. But if you have like this camera setup or a mirror, you can do it alone just fine. So I will give you a couple more demonstrations of this just on the fly here. So I'll face forward, and just a reminder, it's nice if you just lean back and forth. So if you start with your feet together and lean back and forth, your feet should be at a good position with the toes pointing out. And so this is good for the rectus femoris, the hip where the quads and the hips connect, and it helps working the iliopsoas, because when we're keeping the spine upright, this angle of the hip is going to work on these different things. So you'll feel it on the inner part of your leg more than just a regular squat. So engage, inhale, hold, and keep everything engaged as you squat down. And exhaling, coming back up, and switch. And now look from the side. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Now I'll switch my hands back and forth. We'll show from the back. Not sure if this is a helpful angle, but we'll look. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Return. And just one more for good measure. Get all the angles here. Inhale. And exhale. So, thank you for watching. That is the guardian pose, the giant pose, or like the squatting exercise. Yeah, subscribe if you like this and you want more. It will give you notifications if you press the bell button. If you like this, share with your friends. Comment below with what you think, or whatever you would like to see more from in this. So thank you. Aloha.